Well, it's almost the 4th of July, and as you can tell by my voice, I'm actually a little sick right now. This is the absolute worst time of year for me to get sick, but it's totally my luck. So let's get right into it. Where do I get my fireworks from? And I ordered every single one of these online from FireworksPlus.com. 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 From FireworksPlus.com. 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 So as you can see, I get a good majority of my fireworks from that company. Now, since I've tested so many fireworks from this website, I wanted to put this video together featuring my top 10 fireworks from FireworksPlus.com. Now, something that's kind of cool is it's one thing to understand the website, but it's an entirely different thing to see where they're coming from, which is what I did. As you guys know, I've been on the road for quite a while. In fact, I think that's where I picked up this illness. And my travels actually led me to Michigan, where I was able to tour the FireworksPlus.com warehouse. So in this video, we're going to be breaking down my top 10 favorite fireworks of all time from Fireworks Plus, and we're going to get you guys an exclusive, never before seen inside look at their warehouse operations. Now, one thing that is definitely worth mentioning, this little tool right here is a GoPro strap, and what I've been doing when I do store tours is I put it on my head like this, and then I wear the 360 camera up here. The issue with the GoPro 360 camera, I've come to find out, is it does decrease the resolution quite a bit versus the camera I'm using right now. I understand this is not ideal, and unfortunately I cannot go back in time and re-record these videos on this camera. But this is just another one of those learning experiences. Going forward in the future, I will probably not be doing store tours or walkthroughs of any kind with this camera. And it's not just you guys, it's me too. It also bothers me. So yes, I have seen all the comments in regards to the 360 camera footage. I know it's not the best, and we're going to do better on walkthroughs and store tours in the future. This will officially be my last walkthrough that I recorded with that camera, and we just won't be doing walkthroughs with that camera anymore. I know the fisheye lens view can get kind of annoying and make you a little dizzy, especially when that camera is rolling in 30 frames per second. The one I'm using right now is filming in 60 frames per second, which is ultimately a lot easier to digest as a viewer, and it makes the footage look smoother. So without any further ado, let's break down my top 10 favorite fireworks from FireworksPlus.com. Let's start the list off with number 10. Nothing beats free fireworks, and the poor man's assortment does actually come free with every purchase from FireworksPlus.com, and I feature it in every video I do on these products. It's not only one of the funniest names in all of the firework industry, but it's also just really cool that they throw this in for free. They definitely do not have to do that, but they do it anyway. Now, inside the poor man's assortment, which comes with every order from Fireworks Plus, you get 2 of these M150 salutes. These are by Dominator Fireworks. 2 of these ground bloom flowers. You can hear them from here. And a small pack of America's Thunder Crackers by Dominator Fireworks. All right, so inside the poor man's firework assortment, you get 5 items, and we're just gonna dump these out on the table here. Snakes and sparklers are the only ones I like. Okay, so inside you get a champagne party popper. Of course, we have to do it. Woo! Happy New Year. We also get a silver fountain, a ground bloom flower, a 20-pack of snap pops. Oh yeah, I'm gonna force you guys to watch these. I'm gonna force you into watching the snakes too. So these ones here are kind of multicolored. Look at that, that's kind of cool. I should save one of these purple ones. All right, so we got a whole handful. I'm just gonna throw them on the table here. Hopefully I don't miss the table. Oh, look at that. We covered it in glory. And lastly, in the poor man's assortment, you do obviously get some black snakes that we will be testing out. These ones by Dominator Fireworks, And there's these little pellets in there. So we'll put them in a pile. We're gonna do these in the daylight. And this right here, folks, is why snakes and sparklers are the only ones I like. Look at how cool that is. Crawling out of the ground. We are creating something out of nothing. Like, how do you get all this stuff from those little pellets? You might be wondering. And I'm no chemist, so I don't know. But I'm assuming it's some sort of chemical. We're literally making matter. That's crazy. Ground bloom flower. Will it spin? It does. We're in the smoke. Silver fountain. This one's mini. Look at that. At number 9, we have the Up, Up, and Away mini style Girandola. In each box, you get 1 Girandola and 1 launcher. These items are especially cool because as they travel up into the air, it's one of the loudest screeches on the consumer fireworks level. Every time I submit an order on FireworksPlus.com, I always am sure to get some of these. Cade's excited. Oh yeah, they're going the right way. Holy crap. I don't think they all went. There we go. Wow. We got 1 left. I'm thinking there's still several over there. The quick fuse didn't work. Dang it. At number 8, we've got the infamous milk crate rack. And the reason I say infamous is because this cake is kind of a running joke between me and Fireworks Plus. As you know, I did used to feature a lot of my canister shell videos inside of milk crate racks, which looking back probably wasn't the best way to do that, but now we use wooden racks to mitigate some of those risks we otherwise would have had if we continued to use milk crates. So this cake here is a great way to poke fun at that. Oh yeah. Oh, it's color changing. Blue to green. Blue to yellow. Blue to red. Wow, this is awesome. Oh, look at that. Wow, that's one of the best 500-gram cakes I think I've ever seen. At number 7, we have the Chaos Cake Assortment by Pyro Demon Fireworks. This is a 48-shot compound cake that you are meant to fire both of them at the same time. These particular fireworks are some of my favorite to feature on the channel because you can really spread out the size of your shows if you're using products like this. And this one in particular was one of the best performers that I found on their website. It even features this really interesting effect called a wandering star. So as those breaks are happening up in the air, you occasionally get these little straggler stars that often look really cool when they're going off in front of the beautiful gold willows that this cake assortment features. Each cake is 24 shots in total, and yes, it does come with a zip tie. Oh yeah, big spread. Oh my God, those are bright. Look at those comets coming down. This is a game changer. Look at the willows. It's lighting up the entire gravel pit. Oh my God. All right, the one on the left wasn't as quick as the one on the right. Still going. Wow. That is easily gonna get a 10 out of 10. These willows are touching the ground. All right, this one here at number 6, wow, one of the most unique fireworks I've ever seen online. This is one of those fireworks that you're just gonna have to see to believe. It's got this like rising break effect and then a larger break when it gets to the highest part in the air. I've never seen this brand before. Whoa, okay. Oh my God, I missed that. Okay, so it's got that break and then that big one on top. Holy cow. That's like a 3-stage firework. Oh my God. That's incredible. Now we're really going to start to see some good stuff here as we get to the top 5 list. So this one here is a 27-shot cake by Class B Fireworks brand, and that is one of FireworksPlus's in-house brands. This cake is absolutely epic. It features color-changing mines to color-changing breaks with a crackling finale and go-getters. What more could you possibly want? This firework in particular actually reminds me of something that shouldn't be on the consumer market. It's just that good. Whoa. Whoa. Oh my God. Wow. Look at that. Don't get much better than that. At number 4, and I will admit this was a tough one to place, but I chose the Starball Contributions because this is one of those staple fireworks from my childhood. I grew up in Minnesota where aerial fireworks were not legal. But one thing that we were allowed to purchase was these star balls. And what's nice about them is they spin around on the ground and kind of do some fountain stuff. But then right after that, they get to spinning really fast and they actually take off up into the air, which I always thought was super cool. So yes, going forward, any more orders from FireworksPlus.com, I will also be picking more of these up. When we light these off, I'm also going to be including some unreleased footage of a short I made on these things, and look forward to that in a future video as well. Check this thing out. I think you guys are really going to like it. Look at that. There goes the last 3. I know that's really bright. Oh man, that's the only one that went up. Oh, this one. Oh no. At the top 3 spot, we have another infamous firework, and the reason why this one is so infamous is because I always say the name wrong. So how you actually say the name of this shell kit is Kamehameha Wave Super Saiyan Shells. These are the red version of the Super Saiyan shells, which are 4 inches in length, but they do have a 5-inch version, and those ones are blue. The reason these shells are placing so high up on the list is literally because they outperform most other compliant 60-gram cans on the market. Here we go. Yeah, this is going way more fast-paced. These are outstanding shells too, though. Look at that. Nice purple on that one. Again, nice purple. Wow. There was a willow. I thought I grabbed all the willow shells. Maybe not. Look at that. These go way higher. Holy cow. Continuity here. Jeez. Those are way louder than the 6-inch ones. Oh yeah, these babies are juiced. Wow. Yeah, those brakes are heavy. Not even joking. It's been a long time since I've tested those, but they still don't disappoint. There's no way that a willow effect firework wasn't going to make it to the top 2 spot. And so here we have the 2-inch double break Nishiki willow. This is another Class B fireworks item, and these are some of the most impressive willow shells I've ever seen on the consumer market. But they're probably going to be. Oh yeah, they're drooping. I love it though. I mean, it makes for a really good firework. Holy cow. You guys should see these things. These are big time willows. Oh my goodness. Wow. So 18 Nishiki willows in total. Oh, here they go. They're raining down. Look at this. Oh, that's beautiful. Absolutely incredible cake. Yeah, you could have seen this coming. At number 1, we've got a Girandola cake. Now, as you know, Girandolas are one of my favorite types of fireworks, and FireworksPlus.com sells a lot of these things. This is another one you gotta see to believe. Same style as that last one. Whoa, that is loud. I didn't expect it to be this loud. That's like the good stuff right there. Man. Whoa. Look at that. That was crazy. Well, now that we've taken a look at my top 10 favorite fireworks from FireworksPlus.com, we're going to show you guys the warehouse. Again, I just want to remind you, this walkthrough was recorded with my 360 GoPro camera. And again, I will not be recording walkthroughs with this camera going forward. Thank you guys for sticking with me anyway. I'm always trying my best to improve audio and video on this channel whenever I can. So I am in Michigan right now. It is actually the first time that I've ever been here. And we are at a place that a lot of you guys may recognize as FireworksPlus.com. I have been ordering fireworks from this company since 2021, but I have never been to the warehouse. So this will be the first time I'm ever seeing where my fireworks actually come from. I'm super excited to get in there and get you guys some footage of the operations and how everything works. So we're gonna go take a look at that, and I'll get back to you here in just a moment. Well, if you order any fireworks from FireworksPlus.com, it's gotta come from somewhere, right? So if you do not purchase fireworks by the case from this website, this is where they're going to come from. If we continue on down the aisle and look over here to the right, you can see all of the different pieces, such as up, and away. We have tested this one on the channel before. There's a whole bunch of different items that if you would like to purchase them, you don't have to get them by the case. You can just purchase them right like this. This is a really cool concept and something I wish more large firework companies would do, but unfortunately there aren't many of them. And so even though as we're walking down here, it does look like a full-blown fireworks store, just remember, these products are not on display for a customer to come through the door and buy it. That's why you're not seeing any prices listed on the shelves. These are all piece items on the website. So, for example, if you go online and you want to purchase one of these Firing Line by Pyro Demon Fireworks, this right here is where it's going to come from. I've tested this one before. It's pretty cool. It's called Take Me to Your Leader, Girandola. We got Rainbow Road here. I actually just did a video on this one. Super cool, lots of fun. Love the nostalgic label on it too. And how could we possibly forget about this gem right here, the milk crate rack in firework form. It might be just a little bit dark in this aisle, so I got two flashlights here. We're gonna point them at each of the rows. There's the Island Boy here on the left, and I just did a video on that one as well. And as we come down the aisle, you can see there is just a ton of 500 gram cakes here. Again, I do want to put emphasis on that this is not a walk-through fireworks store. So everything you're seeing here is literally only for sale online. But it does really look like a full-blown fireworks store. And over here, we got one of the best fireworks in the entire store. This is the CodyB Neon. Basically, this thing right here is a case of fireworks. But inside, you're gonna get 16 of the exact same fireworks. What's nice about Fireworks Plus is they break those cases down. Like right here we have Red Hot Devil, which inside a case, I'm assuming it's packed 4-1. So you can actually go on the website and buy just one of these things. It's pretty cool. It's also cool that I pretty much have access to everything in here. And I'm the only one in the entire warehouse. I might have to get crazy and light something off. Who knows? Look at this one here. I've never seen it. Drama Bomb, 24 shots. Snap, Crackle, and Pop. Here's some of the Class B fireworks brand. And what I like about this is it's essentially their Pro line, which is really cool to see. It's got that classic brown wrap, but you don't actually need a license to purchase this stuff. Right here we got the good old-fashioned Husker Do's, straight out of the Joe Dirt movie. Definitely one of my favorites. This is, I think, one of the last aisles, and as you can see, they do have gender reveal fireworks even. So if you wanted to do a gender reveal featuring fireworks for your family, this is definitely the website for you, as they have boy and girl options. Here's a nice cake for all you guys who celebrate 420. Just look at all this stuff. This is actually one of the first NOABs I ever used. It's called Yin Yang by Winda Fireworks. Definitely a big hefty, and I always liked how they package these things, because a normal Noab, I guess, looks like this, and that's kind of how they all look like. But then you get ones like this that just look way cooler. What on earth is this thing? This is the Dominator disc. It's a firework assortment that comes in a frisbee. How cool is that? 9 Shots Da Vinci, that looks like a good one. Presto Changeo, Dr. Feelgood, Pyro Demon. Look at all of this stuff too. We've got the Big Bong, that's another one for 420. Good vibes, lots of cool fireworks here, and a lot of them are themed. Oh, here's the Husker Don'ts. I might have to get one of these because I have not actually seen this one in person. Well, this is what the Fireworks Plus inventory will look like if you are purchasing fireworks by the piece. And then I am going to walk over to where if you guys actually order cases. So let's say, for example, this one, Maltese Ring by Dominator Fireworks. If you wanted to buy a case of these, I'm sure it's packed 4-1. And they have a separate building for all of that stuff. So again, they do offer wholesale and retail. So for those of you who have ordered from fireworksplus.com, you've probably seen all of this paper that comes inside the box. And really what this is this machine here breaks down the firework cases and turns it into packing paper. And look at the sheer amount of packing paper they actually have in here. So that's where all the individual pieces are located, and then just outside this door you'll see these 4 containers here. There's a whole bunch of these containers on site, and if we continue forward you can actually see just how many containers. These things are all full of fireworks. So let's just go ahead and get down here in the middle of these and we'll take a look at it. All right, so I'm kind of in the middle of Container City, I like to call it, right here. And what's interesting is all of those fireworks we typically see, like the individual pieces and the cases, they actually all come out of containers just like this. So each one of these is going to be stocked full of fireworks that will eventually make their way into that warehouse and then to your doorstep. By the way, these things come all the way from China. All right, so that was Container City right over there. As you'll see, we have another township of containers right here. And this one actually has a paved road, so we've got interstate travel right through this town. So let's walk on down here and show you more of these containers. There's a mortar rack right there, check it out. So again, trying to show you guys the true scale of fireworksplus.com. I'm standing here in the middle of all these containers, and again, each one of these is also full of fireworks. There are an additional 4 containers right down there at the very end, and I believe there are 69 firework containers in total. So I'm sure you guys can see everything here, but just in case, I got my 2 flashlights again. I am wearing shades, so it might actually look okay even without the flashlights for you guys, but for me, it's a little difficult to see just because I got my shades on. This is the area where all of your cases will come from. So again, we showed you the retail by the piece area, and then this is all the wholesale stuff. So you can see these cake assortments like the Ox box, the 4 Kings way over there. And then all of those boxes way down there are actually canister shells. Can you believe that? I'd be willing to bet there's probably 10,000 of them sitting there. We've got the Chaos by Pyro Demon, the 1500 gram Finale Set B, which is one of my favorites, 192 proof by Dominator, the All-Star assortment. This one I haven't actually seen before, but inside you get 495 shots. All right, walking on down, we've got more of the 1500 gram Finale Set B. That's definitely one of my favorites. Here's the 4-piece family chicken dinner. That was a fun one. We got the Judge, Jury, and Executioner right there. I've tested pretty much all of these on the channel before. All right, and as we turn the corner, we've got the Mammoth assortment by Dominator Fireworks. Large diameter shells in there, and I have tested this one as well. Here's some bulk fuse if you guys need any. Wow, that's a lot. All right, and then we've got the American Series by Dominator, Finale Set A. I've also tested that one. Again, one of my favorites. Look at how many of those they have in stock too. This is insane, and I bet there's even more in those containers that we saw outside. We got the Barbecue Party right here by Dominator. I tested that one in Vegas. It was a few years ago, but maybe I'll do an updated video on it. It's got like 2 shell kits and 2 500 gram cakes. Harambe's Revenge, that's a good one. I think it's a zipper cake. Haunted, this is interesting. Raccoon Dream. Looks like you get 6 500-gram cakes in there. I haven't tested that one before. And yeah, walking back, we have Team Dominator. That's kind of cool. Inside, you got the Shocker, the Machete, First Strike, and Knuckle Sandwich. I might have to pick one of those up. Again, with the American series over here, there's that Finale Set B again. Fortress Stronghold, which is a 112 by Shogun, and back to the Ox Box. Let's not forget Stampede 104 shots. Then take a look at these mortar racks here. They're super huge, really heavy. I can't even lift one with one hand. I don't know how many shots they are, but as you can see, this one's all straight, and that one there is angled. So I'm sure they're selling these as well. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video here at Fireworks Plus. You can see the containers and operations are just beyond this fence. And I just want to give a huge shout out to the team at Fireworks Plus. Great people here. And thank you guys for allowing me to come to the warehouse and get some of this footage. Also, take a look at these giant mortar tubes right here. Pretty awesome.